Hello and welcome in.
Please do not leave your luggage unattended on the station.
Welcome to the show. Hello, welcome in. First intermission, Avs, Hawks in Chicago. It's 1-1. Juuso Parssinen gets his first goal as an Av, and they give one back late to Ilya Mikheyev. We'll talk a little bit about the goal. Gets to the front of the net, I think a little bit too easily. Trent Miner bites a little bit too hard. Nice looking goal from Mikheyev. They tie it up. Megan, your thoughts on the first for the Avs against the lowly 32nd place Blackhawks?
What an introduction for the Blackhawks, but it is an important point. The Avs are playing 11-7 tonight without Jonathan Drouin, and I like most of the effort that I saw in that first period. A little bit of an error on the goal against an unsuccessful clear leads to a broken play, and it's a quick net front chance then for Mikheyev. Otherwise, though, I think if that puck is cleared, this is a 1-0 period for Colorado. They dominated possession throughout it.
Yep.
And I like to see that given that forward group is a little bit jumbled tonight. They're going to have their hands full. And so I think controlling possession and setting that tone early in the first period is going to be important. The other thing I like too is they are getting pucks to the net. Usually after one period of play, I'm seeing a lot of their shot attempts blocked by great lane management on the opposition. On Chicago's side, this is a vulnerability for them. They're capitalizing on it early. So they just have to continue to push that pace in a similar way.
Yeah, pace, playing with speed, flexing the depth, even against a team like Chicago. Yes, with the injuries and everything, the Avs are going to continue to win that depth battle against a team like this. You got to stick with the process here. If you get sucked into the running up and down and trading chances and high flying, especially with Trent Miner in net, with all due respect to Trent Miner getting his first NHL start, I believe, here tonight, you don't have that luxury behind you of just kind of being able to play the game however you want. You need to give that support to Trent Miner, not only goal support, but you need to make sure that you're taking care of things in your own end. Let's start with the goal from Juuso Parssinen.
Yes.
Jared Bednar has talked about the fact that this is a kid who's got some hands, who's got some offensive upside that they want to try to tap into. And they've said get him back to a level of where that maybe his game was 2 years ago. Your thoughts on the goal from Juuso Parssinen?
Well, because they are trying to jumble that fourth line, it's kind of incomplete tonight. His minutes have already been limited in what we've seen of him. And so I don't think we've gotten a great glimpse at his full potential yet, but we've seen a little bit of the effort, which is what I like about him. And the effort is what springs this goal. He's able to break up a play, which was innocently meant to just be a pass back on behalf of Chicago. But not only does he have good awareness of where that puck is going, good engagement to get his stick on that play, but then great speed up ice to turn that into a breakaway chance and pick the correct place. Mrazek has had kind of a difficult time this season for Chicago in net. But
this season, Megan's being generous here. This career,
well, sometimes he plays opposite the Avs pretty strong games. And you and
I even joked last time that he's either like lights out or Swiss cheese against the Avs. It feels like it's one of the two, very, very rarely in the middle.
So I don't want to take away from Parssinen's goal, but you do still have to pick the right spot to lift that puck over Mrazek short side, backhand. And I think good shot selection then in Parssinen's case, hard work makes the goal possible from him. And because they are a little bit short-handed up front and his opportunities are probably going to be limited even more so, I love to see him capitalize on opportunity in limited minutes.
Well, and forget nice spot picking. That's a hell of that's a high skill goal. Like to not only pick the spot to your point, but to have the skill.
I don't care if it's Mrazek in net. Okay?
No. And that I'll just give you a hard time. But no, I completely agree with you. And it wasn't just like, oh man, he picked a good shot. Like, no, that's a high skill play. That's a high end finish. And that is the skill that we keep hearing referred to. He scores the between the legs goal a couple of years ago that went a little viral in overtime. We know Juuso Parssinen's got some skill, but I'm with you. I like the speed to separate from the back checking defenseman there. It's a 2-on-1. You'll hear me say it sometimes when we're sitting in the press box or watching these, numbers if you hurry. Juuso Parssinen knew he had to hurry to keep that odd man advantage. And him doing that, being able to separate a little bit, causes that defenseman who is back to have to respect the pass, not able to step up on Parson. And then what I like about it is you've got that back checker kind of bearing down on you and forcing Parson, who's a left-handed shot, to keep that puck to the right of his body, knows he can't bring it back across, and has the wherewithal and the vision to be able to pick that spot on the short side. That's just a really impressive goal for a guy who we're talking about here, limited minutes, fourth line. I really like what you see there.
And they gave him decent opportunity with Middlestat and Colton in that period. So I think that can kind of become a makeshift line for him, especially based on that first period alone. And there's a lot of opportunity there then for him. That's a line that's trying to get going right now. So I'm excited to see a little bit more of him. That is exactly the upside that they were hoping for in bringing him to Colorado.
We'll talk about the goal in just a second. But what were your thoughts on Trent Miner in general in that first period?
You know, not tested as much Avs because they're controlling a lot of the possession. Not as many shot attempts come his way. I think how he responds will tell me a bigger story more than anything, because that is kind of a weird goal against. It happens off what should have been an easy clear, ends up being a broken play, then a rush chance to the net front. I want him to have a little more awareness, and I think in what I've seen with the Eagles, he absolutely does. So I'm expecting him to kind of lock it down. This is his first true start in the NHL. You heard it here
first, folks. You heard it here first.
Think of the Justus Annunen in Chicago games. Those were great games for a goaltender to build confidence. It's the exact same thing that I want to happen for Trent Miner. I have seen him come up big in huge penalty kills up with the Eagles, and so I have a lot of hope for Trent Miner to lock it down from this point on, because this is a vulnerable team. Okay, I say that after only one period of play based on what I saw. The rest of the way should be easy for Colorado if they do the right things. And that should then make it easy for Trent Miner to get the support that he needs to lock it down for the rest of the night.
Here's what worries me about Trent Miner here tonight, based on the goal. It's one goal. Like, let's
calm down.
Take it easy. But here's what worries me about that, Megan. That looked like a play that was moving too fast for Trent Miner. And he looked a little bit jittery, a little bit jumpy. And I just thought that I thought Mikheyev had it too easy from start to finish on that play. Gets in the middle of the ice way too easily. You got a flailing stick kind of diving behind him. Someone not Trent Miner needs to step in, fill that gap, and stop him from getting from the boards to the front of the net so easily. That's one. But for me to feel the way that you're feeling about Trent Miner right now, I need to see him come out in this first period and settle it down. Settle himself down, make a couple easy saves where he collects the puck, smothers it, and can kind of get into the game. That goal concerned me because that looked like this speed is too fast for this goaltender. He's having to overcompensate. He's a little bit too jumpy. I mean, that was a little bit too easy for Mikheyev at the net front to throw a half-hearted little, fake backhand. And you even saw, like, in his body language, he was even like, really? I can just dump the puck right here in the whole top of the net? I want to see Trent Miner settle down. That goal looked like it was a little bit too easy for Chicago.
I think it's because of how it happens in a lot of ways. It's unexpected. Felleber's that first forward that's trying to get back, not expecting that to be the play because Gerard had the easy clear, but Bedard got a stick on it, and it leads to the broken play and then the quick chance again. So that's not to fully excuse Trent Miner, but that's even why I don't think there's really a net front guy in that lane to the net, because it all unfolded so quickly. But it is the kind of mistake I want to see the Avs eliminate, because that should have been an easy clear. You let Bedard get his stick on it a little too easily. And I want to see a better reaction time from everybody on the ice. To your point, like Felleber, that first forward back, he's supposed to be Keaton Middleton in forward form. And I think he can be that guy. So I just want to see him get a little bit more of a step in covering the net, coming back, and having that awareness that this didn't go according to plan. I need to get back to the net, cover it, and support my goaltender, Trent Miner.
Don't ever talk negatively about goaltenders around Megan. She's not going to stand for it, folks. I think Trent Miner needs to be better, but she is 100% correct. There are several dominoes that fall on that play that lead to again, like I said off the top there, that was too easy for Mikheyev from the moment he got the puck to the moment it was in the back of the net. Nobody made Mikheyev's life difficult enough. He just kind of walked to the front of the net and did whatever he wanted. That's the type of stuff that against a team like this, a team that you should beat, the team, the Avs controlled a lot of that first period. It's when you give up that easy type of play and you're giving up, you're just handing them a goal. You're not making their life difficult enough. That's how these types of teams end up beating you And the reason why a lot of people talk about on any given night in the NHL, teams can win, because if the Avs are giving away easy lanes to the net in front of a young netminder who is not going to bail you out all night long, it's his first start, that's how you lose these games. The Avs got to clean things up before it even gets to Trent Miner to put him in that situation. Because here's the other thing. I don't like seeing Trent Miner react, that way isn't surprising to me. This is his first NHL start. You got to give him the support, because things like that are going to happen to a young goaltender like this, really getting their first real taste of the NHL.
Yeah, it's a rookie mistake on behalf of the team playing in front of him.
Correct.
In front of a rookie. And so you can't have both. If you're going to have a rookie in net, you can't have the rookie mistake.
One or the other, not the combo.
You can't have both. So clean it up. I agree with that sentiment completely. And I think it was an otherwise pretty good period for the Avs. So how they respond, and Trent Miner, I think will be telling, because Trent Miner in relief in the brief NHL minutes he's seen was very strong. And what I've seen with the Eagles, he's very good in chaos, getting peppered with shots. I want to see not him get peppered with shots, but I want to see better response time.
And this is also, and this, what I'm going to say here is going to sound like I'm starting as a negative, but it's actually, this is a kid who played multiple seasons in the ECHL, has played multiple seasons in the American Hockey League, where it is messy or sloppy or hockey, and it leads to more of those types of chances and flurries like you're talking about, where it's, shot, no clear, bad turnover. Like, he's not a stranger to chaotic play, but you got to give him a little bit more support. The game is moving much faster here. You got to make sure that you're putting him in positions to be able to succeed. And if they do that, I'm with you. I think Trent Miner has it in him to be able to give the team the support they need. But you're going to need more offensive support. To your point about Peter Mrazek, it's up or down against the Avs, it seems like. And the Avs got to get to him. They got to get in front of the net, and don't let Peter Mrazek settle into this game going up against a rookie netminder on the other side, and give them, don't hand this game to the Blackhawks here.
And here's where I want to see the Avs really leverage a good first period against what is clearly a vulnerable team. It's the first night in a back-to-back. I want to see them collect these points easily, almost in a way to conserve energy for tomorrow. Let this be done in regulation. Let it be decisive.
Megan, yes.
And don't overextend yourself. Let this be an easy win by doing the right things.
No, you're 100% right. And that's what needs to be the message here in the locker room right now is settle down. Good first period. Not that I don't think that the locker room is ruffled, but hey, take a deep breath. It's 1-1. We probably deserved a little bit better. We're going to support more in front of Trent, and we got to get back north. We got to be skating. We got to be dangerous, and let's get some extended zone time here. Again, I thought it was a decent first period for the Avs. I want to see them hold that puck a little bit more. This is a team that, with the way the Avs have been playing recently, like, the Avs should run away with this game. If they're to your point, if they're doing the right things, this should be a game. This is a Chicago team that, look, they're not good. They're not meant to be good. This is meant to be a lottery team. And the Avs got to calm down, get back to what they were doing, and also don't worry about who's in net for you. Take care of all the things that you're supposed to. Shots were 16-4 at one point a couple nights ago with Mackenzie Blackwood in net. If you're doing the right things, you're going to set your goaltenders up for success. You're going to put them in a situation to be able to help you. So I'm with you. I want to see them really get on the gas here in this second period and just kind of take over control of this game. These young teams that are have a little bit of an us against the world mentality, like I'm sure the Blackhawks players do. Nobody thinks we can win. The Avs are heavy favorites going into tonight. You let them hang around. We just saw it a couple nights ago with Montreal. You let these teams hang around, that galvanizes them, that gives them energy when they're in a game late and they feel like they can steal a win. This is a team on pace for 55 points. If you're going to let them close to a win, they're going to take their game up a level. The Avs got to come out. They got to take their game up and start to leave Chicago behind.
The other thing I like about Chicago being vulnerable, I don't want to use the word weaker, vulnerable feels a little bit kinder, is that this also could then be a slump-busting game for players like a Casey Middlestat or really anyone looking at that third line, right? The OC and Kiviranta and Kelly line that has quieted a little bit on the production front. This is a perfect opportunity for them to find that side of their game a little bit. I think there's more runway for them to do it. I think they're going to be more distributed throughout the forward group because they don't really have a fourth line tonight. And so I'm looking for depth scoring tonight. I wouldn't mind, a Mikko Rantanen hat trick, but I'm looking at the depth scoring because this feels like a perfect opportunity for players even like Casey Middlestat, not really depth, to get going again.
If you're doing the right things, you're totally right. This should be a game that the Avs can kind of take over, win that depth battle, win your matchups. And like you said, conserve some energy for tomorrow. Getting ready to drop the puck on period 2. Vaguely, I was expecting a comment from you on this at some point. We'll talk more about that in the second intermission. She's Megan. I'm Jesse. Mark behind the glass tonight. We will talk to you guys at the second intermission. See you soon. Bye, everyone.
Aww.